Waterkloof, where Kylie Kumalo is on standby, and we do understand that the plane that is carrying the remains of the liberation fighters has made landing.
Indeed, it has. Now, as you can see, those are, in fact, the live visuals. Kylie, it's over to you.
And of course, these are live visuals.
A moment that has really just been... Well, certainly. Well, you know, with live TV, all sorts of things do happen. So that's exactly the aircraft. It's just touched down here at the Waterkloof Airforce Base. Obviously, there's a great deal of excitement. It's also a moment of relief, Bongiwe and Funders. I'm really talking to you. But I want to bring Ndate Kubeka. We spoke to him prior to this day as the aircraft is taxiing across. I want to get his reaction. We know that Ndate Makoti was part of the PAC, one of the founding members of the party. Tell us about this moment, sir. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, yes, it's a very, very exciting moment. You know, this is the moment, this is the moment that we have been waiting for, and I had vowed that even if it can come, at 12 o'clock in the night, we are going to stand until the plane is here. Yeah, I'm very, very much excited, it is like I can take, I can call the people at home and say, he has landed, the eagle has landed.
Indeed, a very euphoric moment, Bongiwe. So that's the voice, of course, Mr. Kubega. Of course, that's the son of Ndate Makoti, one of the prominent leaders of PAC. So as you can see, there's a great deal of interest around this particular story. So we're going to try and see if we can just get a bit closer, and just pardon us if the visuals are a bit shaky. This is live TV right here at the Waterkloof Airforce Base. So once again, Mr. Kubega, let's talk about the process. I mean, going to Zimbabwe, the exhumation in accordance with the traditional rites.
Yes, it has been long coming, like I say, immediately we hear that the government, has taken the decision, going to Zimbabwe was so exciting, to see the grave, itself, to see the grave itself, and then later on to see the grave having been dug, days after. Yeah, I think it was a build up, to the excitement, and now this thing, I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm very, very, very happy. Yeah.
So certainly, Bongo, so there's a great deal of excitement. So now we do understand the process from now is that the aircraft is going to go inside the hangar. So that's where obviously the remains will be taken out of the aircraft. Obviously, I mean, it's been quite a very lengthy process for the South African government working with their counterparts, especially for the families like you, Mr. Kubega, really waiting for this time. I would imagine that, I mean, from the 80s to the 90s, this is a culmination point. All of this happens in 2024.
I mean, our father left us, in 1962, and over the decades, there's been a lot of problems, for the family, people with anxiety and all that, And when he died in 1989, some of the members went to the funeral, but the big thing is he was buried very far. It was not easy from time to time to go, to his grave. Now that he's going to be at the Heroes Acres, we are very excited. And we're just hoping that the whole process of government will finish, this thing in good time, so that the family, can start working, on this thing, funeral arrangements, and coming to a close, and...
Fantastic, Mr. Kubeka. So, I'm going to see if we can really walk and see how far we can reach, really. As you can see, there's a great deal of interest around this story. It's absolutely important for South Africa in terms of healing, in terms of making sure that South Africa is coming to terms with a very terrible past that you have. But first of all, what is really important about this story is making sure that those South Africans who died in exile are able to come back home, especially we know that it's 30 years of democracy, quite a very important moment. But I'm going to see if I can try and get another family, Tot Machikiza's family. We still have you, ma'am, here. So the plane has finally landed. So we're just getting as much reactions as possible. How are you feeling at this point?
Ultimately, home is ultimately home. I think I rejoice. Everybody rejoices, and it's closure. You know, I think for every family member who is here, it's definitely closure. Thank you so much, South Africa, for bringing our beloved home. Thank you.
Fantastic. And I would imagine it's been quite a journey where you had to go to so many parts of the world. And obviously, it's live TV, and we just try and make sure that we give you the best of visuals. So there you have it, Sebongo. It may not be very clear, but the aircraft now is going inside the hang. Obviously, that's going to be a very private affair. It's only the certain members of the families that are allowed to go in. So it's quite a very significant moment for South Africa. But as you know, that's the undertaking from government is that they will cast a net wide. They will go to those countries where so many South Africans died, especially in the frontline states, your Lesotho, your Mozambique, your Tanzania, your Angola, Uganda, even as far as Russia and many other parts of the world. So undoubtedly, it is quite a very significant moment, especially when you look at this is a Heritage Month, and the theme is around